Hi, everyone. My name is Chuck Gilboy. I'm a business advisor with the New Hampshire Small Business Development Center. And today we're bringing you a quick video because there's been some changes to the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program that are important for everyone to know about, whether you've already received a loan or you haven't yet considered applying for the program. So that's what we're going to go through today. To start at the 50,000 foot level, what the EIDL program is it's a loan program intended to cover working capital needs for businesses during the COVID-19 pandemic. And loans are underwritten and issued directly by the SBA. They're real loans that are not forgivable. And you apply through the SBA website. So the good news is that a while ago, this program was initially set to expire at the end of 2020, but it has been extended to the end of 2021. So if you haven't received an EIDL loan yet, there's still plenty of time to apply. The most basic qualification that you need to meet is you need to be a self-employed or small business person with under 500 employees. And when you go to the SBA website to apply, what you're going to do is provide 2019 financials, including sales and cost of goods sold, for the SBA to calculate your loan amount for you, because you don't request a loan amount, at least not a maximum. The maximum is determined for you based on a formula. And that's what's changed. The formula and the maximum amount of the loan that you can receive is what's recently changed. The SBA has expanded it from 6 months of working capital and a maximum of $150,000 to 24 months of working capital and a maximum of $500,000. And now for those of you who have already received an EIDL loan under that original $150,000 cap, the SBA is going to be reaching out to you and offering you a loan increase to that 24 months of working capital. The other important change that's happened is that the due date for the first payment has been extended. For those of you that received a loan back in 2020, it's been extended from a year-long deferral to 24 months. If you're just getting a loan in 2021, instead of a 12-month deferral, it's now an 18-month deferral. But we want to make sure that when you take this loan, you know all of the terms. So the basics are that it's a 30-year term at 3.75% interest, fixed interest. But that interest accrues during that deferral period that I just mentioned on the last slide. So unless you absolutely need to utilize the deferral period, I would encourage folks to start making payments as soon as you receive the loan, so that interest isn't just accruing on the outstanding balance. Now, the other important thing to know is that loans above $25,000 require collateral, which will be secured by a blanket UCC filing against all business assets, and loans over $200,000 require a personal guarantee. So if you're someone who received a loan of $150,000 originally, and now you're considering going, up to $300,000 all the way up to that $500,000 benchmark, you're going to need to keep in mind at above that $200,000 level, you're going to have to start personally guaranteeing the loan. And in the closing docs, what you'll see is most fundamentally a loan agreement and a note. And again, above $25,000, you'll have a separate security agreement, and above $200,000, you'll have a separate personal guarantee document. $100 will be deducted from the UCC filing, and once closing docs are presented to you, whether you have a new loan or you are just getting an increase, you have a period of time with which to consider them and eventually sign them. And it's important to say too that if, let's say, you're offered $500,000, you don't necessarily have to take that. You can request a lesser loan amount. So less than the total amount you're offered. And you just have to make sure that when you're closing, you certify that there's been no significant adverse changes to the business since you applied, like a bankruptcy or a lawsuit. And then in terms of how you comply with the loan over the life of it, you need to spend it entirely on working capital. So like we mentioned in the beginning, no buying a new building or new car or anything like that, just basic working capital needs. That includes paying yourself, rent, debt obligations, supplies, all of those things. And you need to keep track of that over at least a 3-year period. And a couple other minor points like you need to the extent feasible, spend these loan proceeds on American products and services. So a few additional restrictions to mention. Once you have this loan, you need to notify the SBA if you move your business, sell or dispose of a significant piece of collateral, or make a large equity distribution. And all of these sort of restrictions are intended to say, if you get a bunch of additional capital from another source, the SBA wants the right to say, hey, maybe you should pay down your loan balance first. And finally, the documentation you'll need to submit once you close, you need to submit, if you have collateral, hazard insurance for up to 80% of the collateral value. And you need to submit evidence of that policy within 12 months of getting the loan. And you also, if applicable, need to submit a borrowing resolution from your board of directors or you yourself as the owner to the SBA disaster office. So that really covers the waterfront. Hope this was helpful. Please also sign up for individualized advising with the SBDC. We'd be happy to help. NewHampshireSBDC.org is where to find us, and look forward to talking with you more in the future. Thanks, everybody.